Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Friends, big danger is all around us these days. And to survive, you need to be prepared and self-reliant. And that is why I recommend you getting yourself some cryptocurrency, some land, some gold, but especially a proper stockpile of emergency food. And it's easier than you think. Go to preparewithkevinscorner.com right now and you'll save $50 and get free shipping on a generous 4-week supply of emergency food from My Patriot Supply. They're the largest preparedness company in America, and they have served millions of people who are prepared for what's coming. And dig this food stay fresh up to 25 years and it'll be there when you need it. So do yourself a favor and go to preparewithkevinscorner.com. You'll save $50 and get free shipping on a 4-week emergency food kit, which gives you breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks totaling over 2,000 calories a day. So when things get ugly, you'll be glad that you have this food kit. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to preparewithkevinscorner.com right now. That is preparewithkevinscorner.com. Now, let's get to this video. What's going on, America? J6 is back, man. That's right. Yeah, we done uncovered some more intel about it. So we better go ahead and find out because we want to be a brush on what's going on with that. We want to get to the bottom of it, like Liz Cheney and the Democrats and, of course, Nancy Pelosi. So Tucker Carlson has discovered some new intel coming from Project Veritas. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever you hear Project Veritas name mentioned, it probably isn't good for the Democrats or the fake news. So let's check out what the new updates are.
So on January 6th of this year, the New York Times did a big page one look back at the riot at the U.S. Capitol, a retrospective. Quite long, quite intense. The piece was triple bylined. One of the reporters was a man called Matthew Rosenberg. Apparently he's a national security reporter there. Okay. The piece was called The Next Big Lies. January 6th was no big deal or a left-wing plot. So the piece spent a lot of time attacking this show. Here's part of it. Quote, Mr. Carlson has emerged as a leading proponent of January 6th revisionism. Catch that, revisionism. Yeah, most prominently with his 3-part Patriot Purge series. Carried on the Fox Nation streaming service, it amplified a debunked false flag conspiracy theory that the FBI had instigated the violence as a pretext to lock away peaceful but concerned Americans because of their political views, creating a class of patriot martyrs.
Wow. Now, I do remember that. And they were pretty tough on old Tuckums. Yeah, that's right. This man right here was a traitor to the people. He was supporting domestic terrorists, all of us, in fact, who said, well, maybe y'all might have went a little overboard, or there were details about J6 that just don't make sense to the average person with some common sense. I mean, heck, how could it be an insurrection when there's no way to implement the insurrection? No guns, no nothing, no infrastructure, no inside connects and all of those things. And then there were questions like, where's that Bigfoot who was up there? And why did the Bigfoot get his name dropped off of the FBI wanted list? Where is that so-called bomber running around still? He's just running around. You know what I'm saying? FBI's not interested in catching bombers who allegedly almost tried to blow up the vice president. That person's not important. And then, questions like, why are those cops letting folks in? And why were they talking to them and walking with them arm in arm? I don't understand those things. They don't make sense. But instead of asking questions like that and using deductive reasoning, we were called conspiracy theorists and pretty much traitors to our country. So we better find out what this new information is because, yeah.
On Thursday night, Carlson aired excerpts from Patriot Purge on his primetime show, spreading these conspiracy theories to one of the largest audiences on cable.
Darn Tucker.
Mr. Carlson's relentless promotion of the series and the ensuing silence from Fox News management recently prompted 2 longtime conservative contributors at the network to quit in protest. And contributed to the exit of Chris Wallace, the longtime news anchor.
Get him out of there anyway.
Okay. So we're completely out of control, spreading conspiracy theories about how the FBI was on the scene on January 6th, totally debunked and discredited.
Yeah.
That was the word from Matthew Rosenberg on the front page of the New York Times. So recently, Project Veritas went out and honey-trapped the guy, apparently. Got a young woman, drinks, and videotaped Matthew Rosenberg talking in private. Now, we have mixed feelings about those kind of tactics, but it's kind of fascinating what Matthew Rosenberg says when he doesn't think people are listening. In fact, he explained, the FBI, and he would know, had a, quote, ton of informants in the crowd on January 6th. Watch.
Like, I think you could tell how much fun we had in January.
Oh, that's great. Are you allowed to have that much fun on January 6th? Are you supposed to be mourning?
Fun. I thought it was
So you're
insurrection.
traumatized. But like, I mean, all these colleagues who are in the building, looking down there, oh my God, this is so scary. Oh my
Believe
God.
it? Who's having fun?
Is that really the vibe there?
From them, I'm like, come on. Like, it's not the kind of place that can sit tells me to man up, but I kind of want to.
Man up, y'all.
Come on. Like,
Come on.
we're not in any danger. We're the ones, not Fox, not Breitbart.
We were not in any danger.
Actually went up.
So wait a minute, then why did they bring the dude from the Green Mile out talking about I was there and I just want to go down to Florida by me a cert. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm not emotional enough. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, that's it. I showed up just trying to do my job as a black man. And then they came looking at me with those white racist beady eyes like, listen here, you black man, you shouldn't even be in this country. I said, why you gonna talk to me like that? I just want to be here as an American citizen and be respected. Why'd they have that dude come out? If this wasn't a big deal, why was the dude from the Green Mile there and the Latino dude? I'm so scared for my life. All of them, no tears coming down. Why? Why was Alexandria Cortez down in the basement screaming? Why are they getting on TV every day talking about this is equal to Pearl Harbor and all of that mess? If it wasn't a big deal, I need to know the answers to these questions, Tucker. But I also need to know, how dumb are these people who keep getting set up by Project Veritas? Dude, what are you doing? If you work in the industry and you meet a hot new chick and you ain't hot yourself, you might be getting set up. If she all into you and start asking you questions about controversial topics, you the dummy. If you can't see the setup, why you keep asking me about J6, huh? You watch it on TV. Why you want to know all that? But not this dude, because he's all googly-eyed over her, and she letting him have it. Pointed on thing. You're so crazy. So tell me some more about what happened. Let's find out, y'all. Watch him get played.
Cover the fact that, like, there were a ton of FBI informants on people who attacked the Capitol. That was us, not the right one.
What?
Oh, they uncovered that there were, quote, a ton of FBI informants in the crowd on January 6th? I don't remember reading that in the New York Times.
Either.
We read it on Revolver News, which is edited by Darren Beatty. His outlet was the first to document that there were a ton of FBI people in the crowd on January 6th. A ton.
And not to mention, nobody even mentioned those tons of FBI agents when Ted Cruz was asking that FBI agent, were there any FBI agents in there? And for some reason, mysteriously, she kept just saying, I can't answer that. Were there any of them that committed any crimes? I can't answer that. Did any of them plan it? I can't answer that. Did any of them participate in the... I can't answer that. Okay? Why don't you read between the lines, Teddy? You know why I can't answer. Why you keep asking me? Fill in the blanks. Jeez, oh man, you know how we operate. We're corrupt. So, indirectly, you answered it because the answers to all of those questions should have been absolutely not, but they weren't. No wonder there's no follow-up pursuit concerning Bigfoot Ray Epps and some of these actors in that crowd that was allegedly FBI agent.
And he was denounced for it, and so were we. Darren Beatty joins us tonight. Darren, thanks so much for coming on. Congratulations. Not that you need to be vindicated by the New York Times, the paper that defended Joseph Stalin. However, it must feel kind of nice to see this guy admit that you were right all along.
I'd say.
It's nice and it's amusing, and what it shows is that the New York Times, at least certain reporters, are not as ignorant as we thought. It's simply maybe even a little bit more duplicitous than we thought.
They're not ignorant.
It's the whole expose by Veritas is fascinating. It's fascinating to hear this individual trash his colleagues. It's not just the presence of FBI informants. The whole notion that it was this grand insurrection is something that he rightly, at least in private, dismisses as ridiculous and ridicules his colleagues who are dumb enough to believe it.
It's quite a remarkable piece of footage, because they all were dumb. Now, remember, the media was fake. They all knew it wasn't serious, even though we watch them get on TV every night. The January 6th was an insurrection, all the people and the white national racism and stuff. But who's really the victims? Are all those dummies that were on my Facebook page telling me, man, look what your boy did. Trump, man, insurrection, all these white nationalists. And I'm saying, did you watch any of the footage that they didn't want you to see? Have you ever asked yourself, why isn't all of that footage released that Nancy Pelosi is hanging on to? Have you ever thought to ask yourself, why are these insurrectionists just peacefully walking between those velvet ropes, looking concerned and confused at the same time? Like, why are we in here again? How did we get in here? What's going on here? The doors were open and I saw cops waving us in. Okay. Have you ever asked those questions? So don't you feel dumb right now? So that guy just suggested that the dude who got caught on video because of the girl, y'all, is always a woman, man. Samson, you would have learned. You would thought you would learn from Samson, okay? But nonetheless, that dude got on there and he pretty much said, it's overhyped. All of these folks that's, breathing and huffing and puffing about how horrible it is. Dude, come on, man. Man up. Just like Project Veritas caught Van Jones talking about, the Russia collusion thing is a nothing burger. Nothing burger. We're starting to find a theme, aren't we? That they are fake news.
But you have to wonder, if you're a national security reporter at the New York Times and you find out there were a ton of FBI people in the crowd, doesn't that kind of demand a follow-up? Don't you have a moral obligation to find out, what the hell is that? Who are these people? Why haven't they been arrested? Yeah. What was the federal government's role in this, quote, insurrection? Why aren't they running that story?
Well, it's a great question, and they seem resolutely uninterested in exploring this, other than the occasional exception to do damage control when certain tidbits of the truth come out. And it's a particularly important revelation coming right at the heels of the Michigan kidnapping trial, which, as we see, the defense in that case, it was so infiltrated by the feds that they're actually going to use an entrapment defense. And so there's so many unanswered questions. There's still the Ray Epps issue, which has gotten no answer. None. And all these people can do is apparently acknowledge it's all right in private and then do nothing with their sources in order to expose the truth to the American people.
Wow.
Just really quick, is it obvious to you that the more loudly they scream, the more aggressive they get? They did this after the death of George Floyd. They did this after January 6th. They're doing it now with Ukraine.
True.
It seems like there's a connection between their self-righteousness, their aggression,
Russia collusion,
and their duplicity. The louder they yell, the more they're lying. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. They're the kill deal.
Absolutely. They've been extremely vicious protectors of this narrative because it's so important to them.
Absolutely.
The whole lie about January 6th is used to justify the repurposing of the national security state domestically against the American people. If they lose that narrative, they lose that agenda, and they can't stand to have that happen.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, young man. So basically, guys, you got to understand how it works. If it comes out that our own government put this thing together so that they could silence us and go after us and create a surveillance state based on a false flag, then imagine how that would go over. Imagine how that would damage the reputation of the FBI, CIA, NSA, all of those organizations, and including the Biden administration, the DOJ. It would be pretty hard to sell us another piece of garbage like the one they sold us with that. See, so you have to understand what happens is let us create the problem and then provide the solution. So here's the problem. For us, it is these conservative patriots don't like what they're seeing happen to our country. And it was obvious that some shenanigans went on during the voting process. But we have to create a different problem because, see, their problem that they're creating for us is an inconvenience. So what we're going to do is respond to them having a problem with our corruption by making it appear that these folks aren't mad because of our corruption and the obvious discrepancies. No. They're mad because they're white nationalists, they're violent, and they're trying to overthrow the government. And thus creating the solution, which is we wouldn't normally want to surveil you guys and get all in your business. But hey, look, that was a problem. That was a threat to our democracy. So the only solution we have is to go after white nationalism and radicalism. Extreme patriotism in America. That's it. Yeah. I wonder how we got there. So, Tucker, take us home because, see, I bet you all of you are thinking, where in the heck are all the people calling them back up to Congress to ask them questions about this? I bet you're wondering, whatever happened to that so-called interview that the Democrats said they were going to have a meeting with Bigfoot Ray Epps and ask him some questions, but they never followed up and told us about it, I'm pretty sure it was done privately. I bet you're wondering about all of those things and why they haven't been talking about this that much lately. Huh.
You think Kevin McCarthy might sort of clue into this?
I was just saying that.
Do you know what I mean?
I was just saying that.
If like Liz Cheney is screaming about January 6th and then she's screaming about Ukraine, like maybe take a step back. What's going on here? Yes. Kevin McCarthy? But no one seems to think that way. Weird. Darren Beatty,
So there you have it, guys. Once again, we've been vindicated. We always knew we was right. We've been right across the board. But of course, unfortunately, we'll never be celebrated out in the open. We're kind of like the Navy SEALs of our country because, see, we do the dirty work, dig out all of this stuff, but we're never recognized for it. We're never celebrated. Yeah, the media will never talk about this. They would have to get exposed to the degree where they can no longer cover it up or ignore it. But they've been doing a great job with ignoring so many other things, like that pesky Hillary Clinton paid for the whole dossier narrative, that for some reason, now that Durham released that information, not one of those liberal media networks came out and even covered that. Because, once again, they were the killdeer. They were the ones out there going, hey, don't look over there, look over here. And like Hunter Biden's laptop, they don't cover that. All the lies they said about Trump, I don't cover all of that. No, none of that stuff. So we see what we're up against, but it's okay. We all can celebrate together. Because we know we batting 1,000, y'all. I'm like Babe Ruth. Every time I step up there, I'm going, here it comes, y'all. Here it comes. And yep, another home run, y'all. Anyway, safe. God bless y'all. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. God bless y'all. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share my videos. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.